Hi everyone, I hope you're okay, and I really hope that guys the videos we keep uploading are helping you out. This is the fifth video guys of me tackling the KwaZulu-Natal grade 10 examination. Please note that guys there are already 4 videos being uploaded and this is the fifth video and I'm doing question 5. Just note that there will be the other 2 videos will be uploaded after this one. You can just click the link on the description below. It will direct you to the playlist with the full memorandum. You can download the question paper, answer the questions with me. If you cannot find the paper anywhere, just take a screenshot and then answer the questions. And if there are things guys you're not sure about or things you don't understand, please do write on the comment section. I will definitely come and assist you. Okay, question 5. The diagram shows the graphs of G and F, and we are told that A and B are the x-intercepts of G and C is the y-intercept of G. Graph F passes through A and C. Okay, I must write down the coordinates of C. C is the y-intercept of the graph of both is the y-intercept for both graph of F and G. C will be the constant term over there. So I know that the coordinates of C, since C is at the y-axis, x is always 0 and y is just positive 4. Then now I'm supposed to determine the coordinates of A and B. A and B are my x-intercepts for the graph of G. For me to find x-intercept, I must make y 0. I don't care what kind of a function I have. If I want to calculate x-intercepts, y is always 0. So I'll simply have x squared plus 4 is equal to 0. Then if I can divide everything by a negative 1, I'll have x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Difference of 2 squares. Then x is equal to 2 or x is equal to negative 2. So now I know that at A I have negative 2 and 0, and then at B I have 0 and 2. Negative 2 and 0. Okay, now I'm supposed to determine the values of M and C. The C is equal to 4. Why is C equal to 4? Because C is the y-intercept of the graph of F and also the graph of G. So I have my equation as f of x being equal to mx plus 4. For me to find the value of m, I must just substitute any point on the graph. I know that x is equal to negative 2 whenever y is 0. So whenever so now I'm just supposed to solve for m. Whenever I take the 4 to the other side, it will be negative 4 is equal to negative 2m. Divide both sides by negative 2, then m is just equal to a positive 2. So now I know that m is 4, rather c is 4 and m is equal to 2. C is 4, m is equal to 2. And the equation for f of x simply says 2x squared, 2x rather, plus 4. Okay. How should G be translated so that the new graph will have the y-intercept of negative 2 and still have a maximum turning point? Okay. How will G be transformed so that the new graph will have the y-intercept of negative 2, y-intercept of negative 2, and still have a maximum turning point? Okay, remember that guys, our graph is there. The maximum turning point is at y is equal to 4. Ne? So they're trying to move our maximum turning point from positive 4 to negative 2, so that our graph will just look like this. This will be possible if they shift our graph 6 units down. That will only be possible if our graph is shifted 6 units down. Okay. For which values of x is the graph of x below the graph of g? Whenever they say f of x less than g of x, they are just asking you where is your graph? For which values of x is the graph of f of x below the one of g of x? That's what they are asking you. F of x is the straight line graph, g of x is the curve, ne? Okay. The straight line graph is below the graph of f of g of x only here. F of x is less than g only between a and c. So I'll simply say when x is between negative 2 and 0. Remember that the x value there was negative 2, ne? And the x value at c is 0. Okay, for which values of x is the product of f of x and g of x less than 0? This thing simply means that I'm looking for the values of x whereby both my graphs are above the x-axis at the same time or below the x-axis at the same time. Okay, where can I find that? I can see that both of my graphs before this x-intercept over here, both of my graphs are below the x-axis. Are together? And then also and then the graph of f of x will be forever above the x-axis, ne? But however, the one of g of x will be above the x-axis for a particular period, because whenever it reaches b, it goes below. So the graph of f of x and the graph of g of x. Oh, hey guys, excuse. Oh, mistaken. The question says, as trend. Okay, the question says f of x multiplied by g of x less than 0. That simply means you are multiplying two things, ne, guys, and you get a negative answer, which simply means that those two things have different signs. Whenever they have different signs, it simply means that you want the values of x whereby one graph is above the x-axis and the other is below the x-axis simultaneously. Why? Because I know that whenever my graph is above the x-axis, my graph is positive. Whenever my graph is below the x-axis, my graph is negative. So I want the values of x whereby one graph is above the x-axis and the other is just below the x-axis. Okay, as we've just seen here, that whenever I move from the value of a going to the left, both of our graphs are below the x-axis. I don't want that. I want them to be in opposite directions. The other one is above and the other one has to be below, ne? Until here, the graph of f would continuously be above the x-axis altogether. However, the one of g will be below the x-axis when x is greater than b altogether. So from the value of b going to the right hand side, the graph of g of x will be below the x-axis and the one of f of x will be forever above the x-axis. So I know that whenever x is greater or equal to 2, the graphs one of my graphs will be below the x-axis and the other one will be above the x-axis. Yeah, that's how, guys, you could have tackled that question, ne? Just stay tuned, guys, and don't forget to subscribe as well.